Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom. Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom.
Make some noise for your host, Nico.
Lower in the boom.
Make some noise for the OG.
Lower in the boom.
950 Cab.
Lower in the boom.
And TJ Jones.
Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom. Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom.
What's up, people? What's going on, people? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Nyo Weekly. 950, how you doing, man?
Happy Sunday, Suavo.
Thank you, sir. Thank to you.
I'm just happy to be alive. Happy to be alive.
Hey, man, your team might
let's just get right to it. I'm watching this game, right?
Okay.
And I almost didn't watch it. And it reminds me, I've done a lot of things in my life, a lot of cool stuff. And it reminds me of when I was a kid. Not a kid, I'm sorry, when I was younger and I used to coach kids. Yeah. And they couldn't throw, their arms weren't developed. So all we do is run the ball, and the parents say, good job. And that's how I'm watching this game. It's just running the ball. Good job. Don't get blown out. You're not playing to win. You're playing to say, hey, we didn't get blown out. We did good. That's how you teach kids. That's Pop Warner-ish. You got a quarterback who can run, who you know very well, right? Yeah. He can run the ball. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go to the couch. Stretch my legs out. Yeah, I don't want that easy chair right now. I don't want to be easy. You know you got a running quarterback, right? And you know hey OG, you know Denver's got a pass rush. Why are you doing the same exact thing every third down? In the pocket? In the pocket with a guy that's getting killed. That he keeps holding on the ball for 6 seconds. He's already been sacked like 5 times on third down. Why you continue to do the same things over and over again? That's what frustrates me about the Jets. You can take losing. We lose all the time. But it's the little things like this that, like, come on. The defense is playing their ass off. Special teams is playing well. Offense, give us one play. Give us one touchdown, and we can win the game. But I digress.
Hey. I hear you, but you're still up 1.
Man, please.
Still up 1, man.
See, just watching this now. I tell you, man, dumb shit. I don't want to cuss on a Sunday.
No. That's good. I like this energy you have.
I don't.
I have a question for you.
Yes. What is it?
What was your takeaway from the halftime? I mean, right before the half. What were they doing? Or what do you think they were trying to do?
They were just trying not to give the ball back so they could say, hey, we're only down 4. You know, it's again, like I said, when I used to coach Pop Warner, it's like, hey, we didn't get blown out today, kids. We played good. It's just like, and OG would know this, 4 corners. Remember 4 corners basketball when it was before a shot clock and team just we want to limit possession. So we'll just hold the ball so you can't score because we know we're not good enough. That's what they're doing to me. Like, bro, like, we know we're a bad team, but you got to compete. Yeah. And that's why you saw Garrett Wilson flipping on Aaron Glenn. Like, what are we doing out here, dog? We got 3 timeouts, and we just sitting here. And like I said, I'm not necessarily saying Aaron Glenn is wrong because the team is not good, but you look even worse not trying to compete. And again, like I said, the defense has played well. Special teams, that's our offense today. 3 kicks and a safety.
I get you.
Only had like really one. They had 2 first downs in the first half, and one was on a sneak, on a fake punt. Yeah. So you can't even count that toward the offense. And come on, wait. These guys are making millions of dollars, and I'm sitting here going like, I'm not saying I'm not one of these people say, oh, I can do. But these guys are making millions of dollars. And it's like, what are they doing? What are they doing? So it is what it is.
So, I mean, do you make a lot out of that back and forth between Aaron Glenn and Garrett, or it's just
I equate it to your star player who's not going anywhere because you just re-upped him, right? He ain't going nowhere. And he feels comfortable enough to say that to the head coach in public on camera.
Yeah.
And Aaron Glenn's got to realize that even though he's got a good contract, 5-year deal, you just can't say like I'm comfortable, because again, it's a lot of pressure. We're not expecting to win 12 games and get to the playoffs, but you got to be able to keep these guys engaged and these guys feeling like they got a shot. Because once people start coming up and coming to games and like already checked out, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign for the coaching staff. I saw that the last few weeks. I haven't seen that today.
Yeah.
The defense is coming to play, and overall there's some enthusiasm. But from an offensive standpoint, you got to get your guys involved. You can't have Garrett Wilson just running around. Do some reverses. Get him some quick hitches. Just let him touch the leather. You got to do something. You just can't keep running off tackle right, off tackle left. Yeah. Third down, get sacked, hunt. You can't keep doing that.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Uh-oh, he done threw the hood on. Uh-oh.
It's getting chilly out here. I like fresh. You guys know me a little bit. I'm kind of a weirdo. I like fresh air, right? So all my windows are open, but I don't like to be cold. I know that sounds kind of weird.
Well, you know what? I'm the same way. It does sound very weird.
I know it sounds stupid and ignorant, but I like fresh air. I like.
Hey man, yeah. A brother be hot. It's like, hey,
I don't necessarily be hot.
I'll be hot. So
my brother calls me an oxymoron because they hot. Wait a minute, if you cold, close your windows. But I like the fresh air, so I just and I ain't got no hair, as y'all know. So, and I'm not wearing a jet hat. I refuse to put on a jet hat.
I understand.
I'm wearing one of my old teams.
All right, I like it. All right, man. So first of all, OG, congratulations. Your Trojans won a big game last night. After Sharon Moore. I mean, he was honest. He came out and was like, "Look, they coming to see us. They ain't coming to see no damn Trojans." And the Trojans took that to heart and, pretty much, neutralized Underwood, and, that defense wasn't looking that good. But, how do you feel, man? A top 15 win for y'all, and y'all won in dominant fashion. How you feel about
it? That's our welcome to the Big Ten. That's okay. We are here. We can compete. And we can play with the so quote unquote grandfather teams of this conference. Last year, it was getting familiar and seeing what we need. We got it. I think it was a dominant win. I think it was a win that put the Big Ten on notice, saying that, okay, yes, you may have thought we was here to just play around like UCLA, but we're USC and we came to fight, and we gave it to you.
I mean, y'all both got 2 top 15 wins in the last 2 weeks. Them beating Penn State, y'all beating Michigan.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, man, listen, we know California's a hotbed for high school football. You keep half those kids home, and SC is just as much of, even before this, SC just as much of a blue bloods, Ohio State, Michigan, 100%. Penn State. SC is the reason why the Big Ten went west. It wasn't for anybody else, huh?
With better weather this time of year too,
right? And it's the second largest television market in America, and they're not following the food chain. SC is probably somewhere in the middle. And again, like I said, I don't OG. I mean, obviously, yes, welcome to the Big Ten is apropos, but I think they've already arrived. They got a big time class coming in next year. And I think college football is better when USC is winning.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, the only reason I say welcome, that was our welcome to the Big Ten, Because like last year, we would have lost that game. We'd have gave it away. We would have gave it away in the third and fourth quarter.
Think about it though. Last year when y'all played them at the big house, you had the game.
Yeah, but that was just one of those games. They were hyped, but normally when we jump out to a lead like that, we give it up. They didn't give it up yesterday. They got pressed after that turnover down off of that vicious hit on the tight end. Yeah. They kept their composure. Lincoln Riley kept everything simple, didn't try to get out his game plan, and used the aggression of that defense against them. And that was what the difference was. So
I feel you.
You know, but I think I just equated when I say to the Big Ten, I just equated to the fact of, you know how you move to a new neighborhood and you've been there for a year and you kind of got your feet wet.
Yeah.
Now you can get on the block and be like, oh, we're gonna ball, let's ball.
Right. True.
You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of you right now. I know what you got. I know what your tendencies are right now, because it's the second time I done played you. So now let's ball. Let's ball.
Exactly. No, you're 100% right though on that. 100% right. So, Kev, let's go ahead and talk about it. Has the bottom just, fallen out for Penn State? The third straight.
I could use a pause on the bottom falling out, but I won't.
That's
the third straight, and then these are all three of their next opponents: Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio State.
Yeah,
that's the next three.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, they may not win another game.
And they lost their quarterback.
Exactly.
Hey.
I don't think they ever came back after Oregon. And I think, again, sometimes, and I guess this is coaching, right? This is coaching.
Was such a close game. You went to a double overtime?
Right. But what I'm trying to say, this is coaching. Because, again, what's the golden rule of football and sports in general? Never get too high, never get too low. Stay even. They made it into the national championship game against Oregon. And you know why? It ain't because of the players. It's because their coach has been there over a decade and he's been losing. Those players are only there 2-3 years. It's the coaching staff that felt that pressure. So they put that pressure on the team. Again, not you at home. You supposed to be a blue blood. You supposed to be a national championship contender. Why was you shaking in your pants? Because Oregon's coming 3,000 miles to Happy Valley. They let that game be defined as their Super Bowl, and when they lost, their team has never come back. The players have never come back. The coaches have never come back. Last week against UCLA, they had a horrible first half. They tried to make a mad dash and work out. And I want to talk about UCLA in a minute. And then obviously yesterday, really, as you said, the bottom did fall out against Northwestern. Inexcusable. I'm not big on a lot of people saying after a loss, oh, you got to fire the coach. It's, it happens. But again, what they're going to have to do is make some wholesale changes. He's going to have to bring in some people. I know they brought in Jim Knowles, your DC, and they brought the kid Pena from Syracuse, the wide receiver. But there's going to have to be some cleansing of the Nittany Lions. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad you said, because I was wondering if that was that same kid. I'm like, I wonder if this
Trevor Pena, right? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, from Syracuse.
Is that who the head coach is talking about? He ain't paying that kind of money to?
Yes, yeah. He wanted Jeremiah Smith money, and Fran Brown, my favorite coach in America, said, "You ain't Jeremiah Smith."
Okay, I was wondering that.
And if he was Jeremiah Smith, they would have won, at least won yesterday. Yeah. But I think again the bottom has fallen out. I don't necessarily think you fired a coach. I mean, the playoffs are out the window. But again, you can rally the troops, and sometimes, you know what? The one thing about Penn State, right? They're front runners, right? They play well when they play against weaker competition or there's no pressure. Well, you know what, guys? There's no pressure no more. Your quarterback's out for the season. You are not going to the playoffs. No pressure. So everybody now expects you to lose to Ohio State. Everybody expects you for Iowa to find an offense and beat you. Everybody expects you to lose to America's New Donalds, Indiana Hughes's. So there's no pressure. Just go out and play football. You're going, I think they're playing the red shirt freshman. I forget his name. But there's no pressure. And that in itself, if James Franklin is smart, and I still think he's a good coach. I just think sometimes situations. But if they move it that way, and if he finds this Instagram, then he'll just say, you know what, guys, there's nothing more to lose. Let's just play loose. Look what it's done for UCLA. UCLA is playing loose. UCLA right now, the last 8 quarters, looks like a team that can actually win the Big Ten. I know that sounds sick. They do have a 5-star quarterback. Tim Skipper, son of Jim Skipper, great coach. Jerry Neuheisel, son of Rick Neuheisel. They are balling. I mean, I watched that game yesterday, and I'm like, wow, this is what was Deshaun Foster doing? Like, it's almost an indictment on him. Like, what you doing? This is a really good team. They run the ball well. They play good defense. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a bad look for sure.
It's a horrible look. I mean, for your next job, like even to get a running back coach position, it's a horrible look. That team, think about it. They lost 4 straight. Only lost 1 Big Ten game. Now, again, the hill is hard to climb. But all I'm saying is it makes for interesting conversation. They got Maryland next week, right? Maryland lost the tough one to Nebraska, and Maryland's kind of like Penn State Junior. They can't get over the hump, right? They get these close games and can't seem to win them. I think and Maryland's got to go to UCLA. I think OG, for the first time in maybe a long time, I think people are going to pack the Rose Bowl next week and watch this reemergence of what maybe brewing football. And if they beat Maryland and got to play your Buckeyes in a few weeks, Swab, I'm not saying they're going to beat Ohio State, but they got a 5-star quarterback, and he's starting to look like a 5-star quarterback. Whatever Jerry Neuheisel was doing, that kid is working magic, and like his daddy with that blonde hair. He's working magic, man. So I'm not saying Ohio State's going to lose that game, but it makes it a little bit more interesting. And it makes it interesting when they play your boys at the end of the year, OG. I mean, again, this is a team that is playing free. They're playing with no inhibitions. They're relentless, and they're having fun. And it's amazing what a breath of fresh air from a new coach can do for you.
But
you said that. You said that about UCLA. Could that be the same for Penn State? I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start an uproar after 3 losses, but these are 3 losses in a row.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, 2 or all 3 were to non-ranked opponents.
Last 2
non-ranked.
Northwestern and UCLA.
I think that puts a little bit more oomph on the losses.
Right.
Because these are games that you shouldn't have lost, regardless of
what's going on. Yes, correct.
And that's why I said, I don't know. I think maybe Penn State might be in a lot more trouble than what people think. I don't think it's just coaching. I just think at this point, like you said, I think the voice and the message got stale, and it might be time for a new voice. I mean, if UCLA can turn it around, and I know, like you said, it's been 8 quarters, but that kind of shows that coaching and what is being said to these kids,
right,
affect them no matter if it's good or bad.
No, so, I agree. Yeah,
I don't know about Franklin and his job at Penn State.
Well, that's true. I mean, obviously he goes to 2030, same play.
Man, just cut it off. Cut it off, man.
Any event, 2030, he's got a buyout, right? But Penn State's got money, and really, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it might be time to make a move. I don't know. I'm just not. Again, like I said, we're talking about 18 in most cases, 18 to 22-year-olds, right? So I'm just not. I'm to the point where, like, I understand, like, it's big money, kids are getting paid, so it's expectations. It's NFL junior, but I'm just not opposed. I'm not to the point where I'm like, all right, coach has a bad stretch. A guy, he's been successful. He's even though he don't win the big one, he's won 1 Big Ten title. He's gotten to the playoffs. So I just think that you give him the benefit of doubt to kind of work it out. Now again, and then end of the season, if they go completely free fall, then you have to make a move. Because I don't know. They already lost a 4-star this past weekend. Just these kids are temperamental. They watch TV. Penn State ass, and they kids. So one already declined, said he's removing his
Commitment.
his verbal commitment, right? So yeah, if they free fall. Now again, Iowa is a solid team. Iowa's not gonna blow the doors off you, but they don't beat themselves.
Right.
Kirk Ferentz teams never beat themselves. So we'll see how that plays out. I think, again, the quarterback losing Aller, who, everybody would, we talked about this a lot in our rooms, the quarterback class. The quarterback class for 2026 really at this stage might have been all smoke and mirrors. I haven't seen anybody that people have been talking about that's coming out into the draft next year that has really excelled. All these quarterbacks look really bad. Arch, Lenoris hasn't played well the last few weeks. Nussmeier, we just talked about Drew Aller.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, Cade Kublik, horrible. A lot of these guys have not played well, and I really want to see how the NFL relates to that, but that's down the road. But as of now, James Franklin, they have to win. But I think, again, he could take a page out of Skipper's book at UCLA. And while it's not a new staff in Penn State, hey, just say, guys, forget about it. And that's going to be hard to do, right? Because the thought and the mindset was they would be playing for the national championship. This was supposed to be their year. Ohio State had a freshman quarterback playing. Michigan had a freshman quarterback playing. This was supposed to be your year. Nobody thought Indiana can reduplicate what they did last year. This was supposed to be your year, and it's going up in smoke before Halloween.
Yeah.
Well said.
And I think the worst part about it for Northwestern, they returned a lot of those guys from last year. They could have went pro, but they figured, hey,
they went back to try to win a chip.
Yeah, outside of what's my man name for the Giants, the D lineman.
Yeah, Abdul Carter.
Yeah, so I think that's the real kicker. Damn, you got pretty much the same team that was, you was an interception away from playing in the national championship.
Right.
You had Notre Dame beat. All you had to do is run the clock out. And you had Oregon beat.
That's big. That's big game, James. And I ain't talking about Worthy.
In the negative way. Big game. Man, what?
I like James Franklin too. I really do. I really do like James Franklin. I've met him a couple of times when he's recruited some kids. He's really a good guy. It's just that sometimes, it's change is needed for everyone. I don't care what it is, business, relation. Sometimes, he's been there, 12 years, 13 years, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, it might be time. It's a lot of jobs opening. Maybe he should go back south.
But where?
Well, think about it, right? I think the coach, this is my opinion, I think the coach from South Florida, Golich, he's going to probably get a job, probably at either Florida or Arkansas.
I can see that.
Maybe James Franklin. And again, if I'm a AAC school, American, or a school like that, and the job opens up, I go, and James Franklin's available, I take him in a heartbeat. Let's say Memphis' coach, who's on a short list for a lot of big jobs, right? Sudfeld. If Memphis' job opened up and he wanted to coach right away, I would hire James Franklin in a heartbeat if I was Memphis or South Florida. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think that the pressure has built up on him. This imaginary gorilla is on his back, and you can't seem to win the big games. That's why, again, they made that game against Oregon like their Super Bowl. And when it doesn't happen, you're telling kids on Christmas there ain't no Santa Claus. And how do we get back to being normal again? And it don't happen like that. Football, out of all the sports, with all sports, but football, because you play every week, you practice more than you play. It's a one-game scenario each week. And they built that game up. They should have won the game. They didn't. and they just never have been the same since.
Yeah.
They sleepwalked at LA when they played UCLA, and they tried to make a rally. Yesterday, I didn't really watch the game. I peeked at it, but I couldn't believe they lost. But they're in a free fall for sure. 3 straight losses in college football is a free fall.
Surprisingly, though, Northwestern is 4-2.
Yeah, Northwestern's actually. I mean, they compete. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not what Penn State it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
You know, I don't think Northwestern's not going into Columbus.
No.
I gotta say Bloomington, Indiana now.
Yeah.
That's hard to say, but yeah, they ain't going into Bloomington. I mean, but they're competing. They're gonna win 7-8 games and get to a decent bowl.
True. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
So
could it be? Let me add just one. Let me add just something else to this. Could it be? I know it's coaching, but it also be that where Penn State is located. I know it's a blue blood, and I know that they still get kids, but you're still talking about in the mountains and snow.
Yeah,
you're trying to get kids with speed that
Yeah.
come from warm weather climates. Let's just put it that way. No matter Florida, LA, Texas, no matter where you want to put it.
right.
That also be a problem for Penn State.
That's a great question. That's a very good question. Like how Nebraska used to be a big time blue blood. Like when we were kids, OG was Nebraska was getting all them boys, right?
Nebraska,
and because it's in Nebraska, a lot of the brothers necessarily are looking at other places. Maybe because if you play in LA, California, Florida, Texas, you're probably looking for somewhere a little bit more warm or somewhere a little easier to get. Penn State really hasn't had that problem, but when I start to watch them, they don't necessarily get the OJ McDuffies and the speeches on the ends, the Kajana Carters, and they still get the defensive guys because they got a tradition with the number 11, the hockey sticks. But that's a very interesting point because they don't necessarily get what Ohio State gets. Ohio State probably out any northern school gets the Florida kids. They just have a pipeline, right? And it's worked, right? But everybody else kind of struggles with that unless you get in somewhere out the portal, which is going to really start to slow down now with only one portal opening starting next year. But that's a very interesting point. And, again, I mean, it's a great place to go to school. I mean, I'm from the Northeast, so Penn State is like the Grail, right? It's what SC was because we don't have big time football in New York outside of maybe if you want to consider Syracuse big time. I don't even know if you wouldn't even say that. But Penn State was always that school, right? But again, it's a different time now, and it's going to take a lot to get those kids. It's going to take really a transcending coach to get those Florida kids up there because you got to go Florida. California kids ain't coming to Penn State. And maybe once in a while you can pull into Texas and get somebody. But the key for them is Florida, right? Florida, Georgia, that panhandle, because that's where everybody in the Northeast goes. Fran Brown tried to scoop out of there. James Franklin trying to scoop out of there. Pitt once in a while gets a decent 3 or 4 star to go to Pitt. But that's a great question, though. And that's something that whether they're going to throw more money at it, which they have the dollars to do if they choose to, or they're going to get a dynamic new head coach that, like a Dion or something. Not saying Dion, but that mentality that can get kids to say, hey, you're paying me, but I get to play for this guy. And, somebody's got a little sweat. Like a Fran Brown at Penn State would change the game.
Okay. I mean, the only reason I ask is because I don't know about their recruiting class. So do they get most of their kids from the east side and the middle? Or that's what, because I think that could be a problem too. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, changing coaches is not going to change anything.
No. That's why that.
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was just saying because if changing coaches was that easy, you would have seen that pipeline or a couple of sprinkles throughout but if you haven't, I don't know what's going to change that.
Right. That's why I'm a believer that I don't I think they got to make some changes, but I don't know if changing James Franklin because I just don't think he's that bad a coach. Does he come up small? Yes, he's come up small, but it's just like the Eagle fans hollering about Sirianni after he done been to 2 Super Bowls, and it's like, come on, when nobody's perfect, right? So while yes, this 3-game stretch is something they have never experienced. Hey, he's never lost 3 straight at Penn State. I just think that again, there's a way out. Like when you want to be considered a blue blood, you can't complain about injuries. Mid-level teams can complain, we lost this guy, that guy. When you're Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida, Georgia, you Alabama, you can't complain about guys getting hurt. I don't care, even in the new transfer portal, you got to have guys ready to roll. You got the resources, and this shouldn't be an issue with that. Did he catch that? No. Damn. Sorry. I'm getting sick of Garrett Wilson, man. Listen. I know I'm talking off base. We talking about college ball. I'm getting sick of Garrett Wilson. You can't holler about give me the ball. You can't holler about give me the ball, and then when they throwing you the ball, you dropping plays in crunch time. You can't be I'm that dude, and then you're dropping passes. Look at this shit. It was on his 5.
Ooh. So
sorry.
So no, I just looked it up. The last 3 big time players at Penn State: LeVar Arrington, Micah Parsons, and Abdul Carter.
Those are defensive guys.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As far as recruits, all from Pennsylvania.
Right.
So
they're all from PA, right? Exactly. Yeah. But that's the tradition. Penn State is linebacker U. So that's the tradition. And really Arrington started that from the ends. But turn this off.
I told you to do that.
But Arrington started that DN mentality at Penn State, because it's always been linebacker U, but it's kind of been the inside guys, even going back to Jack Ham and Shane Collin and them boys. But the wings, Arrington came in and wore 11, and everybody wears 11 now. That's why the preeminent DN wears 11. They started that with him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So my next question, well, not even a question. This is just my statement. Indiana legit. For you to go in and only hold Oregon to 13 points? Because the 20 came off of a pick 6. But for you to win 13 to 30, essentially, I'm convinced.
They're more legit. They're national championship contender. They're better than what they were last year. Last year they kind of worked off a kind of a Mickey Mouse schedule, and they brought in a lot of transfers. But Stignetti is a solid coach. Guys now people starting to talk about it. It took many years because he went to a D2 after he coached with Nick Saban. But he's legit, and that quarterback Mendoza is in the Heisman race, and that after going to Oregon, you don't go into Oregon and dominate them. They're not used to that. They got dominated yesterday. Now I don't think Indiana's win the national championship. I'm not going all the way there, but I might even win the Big Ten. But they are a legit team, and you better bring your lunch when you play them because if you're not, you'll get beat. You'll get beat.
Hey.
But now you got to ask yourself if you're Indiana, right? This is the first time probably ever. How do you handle success? Because now you're not the hunter, you're the hunted. So how do you deal with that? And again, we're still talking about 18 to 23-year-olds, right? So how do you handle that? They went back to campus last week. The girl you couldn't get 2 weeks ago, she opened up her what's for you. Everybody's offering you free meals. You're now the king of the hill. And we seen it happen 2 years ago with Colorado, right? When Ground Zero was in Boulder, Colorado. Every TV show, everybody was there. And guys were like, I'm that dude. And they lost 8 straight. So what I'm trying to say, or 7 out of 8. So I'm trying to say now, Indiana, how do you deal with being a front runner? Kirk Stinetti, you've never had this type of shine. You was coaching D2 schools and whatever. Now you on the front page. How do you deal with that? It ought to be interesting. And to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to that Indiana UCLA game all of a sudden. A game that probably people felt like, Indiana would dog walk them. I think it's going to be a pretty good football game. I'm a believer in Nico all of a sudden. For some reason, they have become fun to watch. And I know I keep coming back to UCLA, and I know that's OG's evil empire twin. But that Indiana team is legit, to answer your questions.
Right. Oh, what you say, man?
Hey, bro, I'm just gonna take it one season at a time. I really can't say nothing about nobody else in the Big Ten until we see them. But hey, more the merrier, makes the conference look better. Looks better than the SEC right now, so that's all I care about. And let's go Big Ten. I never thought I'd say that.
Right, I was going to say that's kind of weird.
You know what I mean? But let's go Big Ten.
It didn't even roll off the tongue good. It was like,
I have to really think about it.
But didn't I say that months ago? And we had Nick Nick on, and I said the Big Ten is the best conference in college football. And he kind of smirked. No, the SEC. I'm telling you, SEC is more pageantry because let's face it, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. In the Deep South, ain't too much shit to do in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Oxford, Mississippi. It ain't too much to do but go to football and church. So obviously, the Big Ten is in more, metropolitan cities, Minneapolis, Los Angeles. Rutgers is near New York. Maryland is near D.C. So there's more to do. Only two schools that really don't have that issue is Iowa and Nebraska. Everywhere else is kind of in a metropolis, Illinois, and Northwestern. So there's other things to do outside just watching college football. So yes, the SEC will always have the pageantry, but right now the Big Ten is the lead horse. They've won the last two chips. When you add Oregon and USC is back, and now you've got a team. Nobody thought Indiana. It's the best conference in college football.
You're right.
I don't necessarily think sometimes it's the most entertaining to watch because I love the pageantry, right? The SEC has got that ravenous fans. They painting their bodies and all that. But, football-wise, when it comes to, who are better teams, Big Ten right now.
Hey, I agree. But no, man, like you say, if both teams went out, Ohio State, Indiana, it's a home game. But
don't they play each other?
No, not.
Oh, they don't play each other this year.
Not this year. No, we will see them in Indianapolis. So I
don't think they get to Indianapolis. Can I say that?
Indiana?
I don't think so.
Really? Who do you think?
I think they stumble.
Where? Matter of fact, let's read.
Go through the schedule.
Yeah, we can go through it.
I think Nico beats them. I know that sounds crazy to think. I really think they gonna pull. I think UCLA is going to be angels in the apple. They're gonna make a movie about. That team and how Deshaun Foster didn't know what he had. And,
all right,
I can see that happening though, Kev.
All right, so the next 5, next 6 rather. They Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, at Penn State. Well, at Maryland, at Penn State, and at Purdue. But they 2 home games is Wisconsin and UCLA. So,
it is very easy on paper. But listen, like I said, each week in college football, you got to go compete, right? And again, like I said, now they're the 100. Unfortunately, I'm a big Mike Locksley guy, but Maryland, they might need to make a switch over there too. And I don't know if I even would say that, but I think they might need to make a move. Who ass, aka Purdue, they ain't worry about that. Wisconsin, they're going to have to make a move too because your former guy is not the guy in Wisconsin. I really believe And again, it don't make logical sense.
Come
I
on
really
home.
believe Tim Skipper and new hires on them boys are going to go into Bloomington and pull off an upset.
So
If the same team that played Michigan State yesterday, running the football, playing great defense, and got a quarterback who really, if you looked at Nico's game last week, he had to run for 100 yards. He had to be everything. But if he was able to spread it around, that's a team. That's not the same team from that lost to New Mexico. It's a different team. I think UCLA beats Indiana and spoils their season.
So real quick, Doc said about Penn State, it's one down season. Paterno had some ups and downs.
He never had that many downs. He never lose 3 straight. He had a lot of downs off the field, but he ain't never lose 3 straight.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We're not talking about what kind of downs he had.
No, I'm not talking about either. Oh no, not Jesus Christ, no. I just said he had some downs. Not getting into that at all.
So, all right. So my next question, Kev, Texas, they win big yesterday over their I can't even say arch rival because I would say maybe A&M.
Well, they're rivals. They're rivals.
All right, so their other arch rival.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Oklahoma 23-6. Oklahoma's quarterback John Mateer came back from hand surgery. I don't know why he tried to play in this game. It didn't help, obviously. But is Texas back in the playoff picture?
For the moment, as we're talking now, yes, they're back in it because we know the SEC is going to get multiple teams, and they've only got one SEC loss. So yeah, they're definitely in it. I still am not a fan of Arch. I don't know his numbers, but I know he made a couple good plays, but it's just not enough. Mateer, he probably shouldn't have come back, but when you're paying a kid over $3 million to be your quarterback, it's NFL light. You're gonna have to play. We don't want to hear it. Take a shot, suck it up. But I think Oklahoma's not what we thought they were. I think people felt that they were kind of like back to Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. They're not who we thought they were. And Texas still has some things to prove. They still got A&M, who looks really good.
They still got Vanderbilt and Georgia too. God.
Yeah, Georgia. I know we'll get to that game. Georgia as well. They're just resilient, but they don't seem to be the same Georgia. But they'll have enough to beat Texas. So yeah, I think as of today, yes, but they got to run the table, and I don't see the Longhorns doing it. I see them stumbling twice. I see them losing to Georgia, and I see them losing to A&M.
Out of that 23 points, how many points was Archie, whatever the hell this boy's name is? How many points did he put on the board? How many points the offense scored? 7?
He had 1 touchdown.
One touchdown.
Out of 23 touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. And we're worried about Texas.
21 of 27, 166. 1 touchdown.
We worried about Texas?
Hey.
They ain't gonna cut it against Georgia and A&M.
That defense keeps them in the game.
Yeah.
But you played a team with a quarterback that just had thumb surgery with screws in his hands 7 days ago. One, I don't know how and why he was even playing. I don't know how you can even grip a ball 7 days after, because that's impossible.
Total raw, OG. Total raw.
So that's one. But you're supposed to be the quote unquote quarterback of the future. And out of 23 points, you only put up 7?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not what we thought he was. Or a lot of people thought he was.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad his grandfather told him, no, he ain't coming out. He needs to stay. And it's starting to show that maybe you need to start listening to what people that's in that camp say. Because maybe his grandfather knew he wasn't ready.
Because he said that before the season started.
Before the
Right,
season, he said that. Yeah.
So,
Said that in August.
so obviously, Granddad was like, "No,
Yeah, bro.
hey,
You ain't ready.
And there's no need for him to rush. Now, there was somebody came out last week and said, because obviously in this day and age with all the money, I think Texas is going after, I think they signed a 5-star. I don't know the exact name, but they signed a big time quarterback out of high school. When you do that, because Arch technically is a redshirt sophomore, he actually could stay 2 more years.
really,
Right? He's a redshirt sophomore, junior class redshirt sophomore. But we know he's not ready. But would Steve Sarkisian have the whats to tell Arch Manning to go find another school? I don't believe he does.
You think he could do that? Oh, you say you don't believe? Oh,
I don't believe he does because the man is such a powerful football family that has a lot of influence. They do that high school camp. They would tell all those kids, do not go to Texas. So I think you're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place with Arch Manning. You kind of stuck as long as he needs the development, he's going to be your quarterback. And again, they have a great defense. Thank God for that. Because if they didn't have that defense, they probably already have a 3rd loss. But they have to they got to find more cohesion offensively. And Sarkisian is supposed to be this offensive mind, which I think he is. But I think again, you really got to try to do some unique things with Arch Manning. The one thing about Arch, he's got good legs. Get him on the run. Start doing some other stuff because the schedule only gets tougher.
true.
And Vandy, as you mentioned, is no cakewalk anymore either.
Yeah, it's funny. The two like Ivy League colleges are building powerhouses. Indiana, Vandy.
No, that money changes things, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So, what's your game of the week? 9:50.
NFL game?
Yes, sir.
I really don't even care. But yeah, who's playing? I don't even know. How much I done tuned out the NFL lately, man, with the Jets.
Hey, I understand. I understand.
Well, you know who I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna peek in. I'm gonna peek in on the Browns. Now I know Shador is the number 2, but I just want to see they play Pittsburgh. I really want to see if Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh can get on top of you defensively, and let's say they jump over Cleveland. Do they bring in Shador and mop up?
Possibly.
Because Cleveland can't keep Stefanski, like everybody talked about how Dylan Gable looked great. And that's how sad the NFL quarterback position has become. And you see my team, the Jets, man, we can't even complete a forward pass. But the NFL in a whole, in my opinion, is not a good league. We as fans, because football has this imagination, it's a physical sport. We love it now with all of the money and fantasy. We're fans of it. But when you start looking at football and breaking it down, some of these players and the positions and the athletes, the game has taken a step back. It really has. And we'll see how it plays out this week. I'm interested in seeing that game. I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'll say no. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, what will Baltimore do this week? Are they playing this week?
The Rams.
Yeah, the Rams, right?
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing that. No Lamar. But it's just it's bad football. So when people say, "Oh yeah, somebody just throwing checkdowns and not turning the ball over is having a great game," I'm like, what type of football are you used to? You got to have your quarterback at least make about 3 to 5 big plays a game, in my opinion. Whether that's with his legs or with his arm, you got to make a few plays. Sometimes the game plan is gonna teeter, and I'm gonna need my guy to go make a play. And Cleveland had that chance last week. It was that 3rd and 9 or something like that. Go make a play. can't make that play, they lose the game. But I'm believe we'll be watching Cleveland and seeing if no wish, no injury on nobody, but if let's say Dylan steps on a rake or something and then walking to the locker room and all of the tools they use to fix the field, it gets hit by the golf cart or something. No disrespect. Then Shador plays, but I'm gonna watch that game. I'm gonna watch Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
All right. Oh, who y'all got tonight or today, rather? Can you hear us?
I think it's frozen.
Okay. All right. Hey man. Well, I mean, my guys, I gotta wait till tomorrow. We go back to the scene of the crime, Washington, D.C. So it's gonna be interesting to see, honestly. Because it's the last time we were there.
Guys have turned the corner, though. I mean, listen, it's going to be a haul. It's not easy, but
for sure.
I think you've turned the corner as a program.
I hope so. Because the Chicago faithfuls, they support this team like crazy. And it's like, bro, you got to give them something. I posted on my story, all the orange and navy and white that was in Vegas.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, come on, man, get these people something to cheer about.
No doubt.
We're gonna see tomorrow, and hopefully they can, be on a 3-game win streak. Hopefully, and then
I think Washington's a solid team, but they're not world beaters.
True.
Obviously, the other team. I know they played Thursday, the Giants, but what Jackson Dart and Scatterbo are doing, I think, opens that East. So I think Washington, they can't give up games, so they got to win tomorrow too. But I think you guys have turned the tide. I don't think people can just mark a W in their calendar playing you guys.
No, I agree. Oh, what's your game of the week, or is your game the game of the week?
No. Game of the week already happened. That happened Thursday.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that shows, Philly got problems, and when you win, it masks the problems. But now that you done lost 2, it shows that y'all got some problems on offense and maybe defense. So I think that was the
personalities. I mean, it's like 2023 all over again with them, man. Like, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, what is wrong with this franchise? Like, y'all win games, y'all winning, but it's just not enough.
I guess it's the way. It's what, week 6? What is Philly's identity? Are they a passing team? Are they a running team? Are they a defensive team? No, and I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But what are they at this point? Does anyone know?
No.
And you're the defending champions?
Yeah.
No.
But that's also living off your laurels, right? And not realizing that every year is a new year, every season's a new team. Like I said again, when you got your main receivers, and actually Brown is one of their captains, and he's acting cantankerous. That's the word of the day, cantankerous. If one of my former professors is watching, they'll be proud. Then it's a problem, man. Like, I understand. Listen, Jalen Hurts he's a winner, right? But he's not slinging the ball around the yard. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not that. But again, you have to, and I mentioned this about the Jets, you have to get your stars engaged. I don't care if you're giving Brown reverses or little short passes. He's got to touch leather, because when these receivers are divas, and when they don't touch leather, they get out of sync. Now you got my man on the other side, Devontae. Now he's got a problem. You know what I mean? Because he's talking now. He never talks. You got Saquon trying to do the Zen. It ain't working. And I just think that's a bigger problem. It's the second in 3 years this time has happened. I I'm not saying the coach has no control, but I am saying the coach doesn't have any control. Exactly, because this can't keep happening. Like last year, Saquon came in there and soothed everything. Right? He was like Gold Bomb. It was Tiger Bomb. When you're trying to take care of information. But now he's already been there and they won. Now they back to who they are, and maybe this is who the Eagles are.
So let me ask this, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but when you have really no veteran leadership on defense and you're relying on all these young Georgia kids, which in 2 years going to line up, you're going to have to pay these one by one. Your offensive line is not the same.
No.
And offensive coordinator, I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their game, I saw something that, when you watch these little sports programs, like First Take and All and Get Up, Dan Orlovsky says something that I kind of had to stop and think about. They're in shotgun 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And why is that? This is not college.
Talking about the Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only time they're on the center is to do the tush push, which they did 4 times in a row.
That's their best offensive play.
I'm just saying. So if you in shotgun all the time, is that an indictment on the coordinator or an indictment on your quarterback that cannot play on the center?
I think it's the latter, personally. I mean, it's probably a little bit of both, but I think the OC probably feels Jalen is best in a shotgun offense because he's not a traditional NFL quarterback. Okay. So I mean, that's all I can think of. I mean, hey, he can bench 500 pounds, and that's cool and all, but that ain't helping you win ball games. That's not. You ain't a linebacker. You a quarterback. So I think that's because that's who they are. And again, like anybody else in football, if you give people enough things, you put enough things on tape, somebody's going to start being able to dissect you.
Okay. Just wanted to ask that question. But
I think they were smart. They would lean on Barkley more because they're not even feeding him. And again, touching leather, the tush push takes away opportunities for your to me, one of your best players to really get into the game. And I think they have to do that. And when Big Dom is your only is your stabilizing force and he's the security guy, that's a problem. He's a good dude, but he's a security guy. He ain't playing.
No, I get it. I mean, I'd just rather have that conversation. I'd rather ask that question to non-Philly fans because, of course, you get very emotional about your team, and I get it.
Right.
But these are real questions that you have to stop and be like, wait a minute. Something ain't right. When you run the ball, you kind of win. You back into a win, but you get a win. You don't run the ball, you're getting your ass whooped.
And if you look at what happened on Thursday, it ain't just from that part. Defensively, they got bullied. Yeah. I ain't never seen Philly get bullied. This kid, Scatterboo, running over him like he Larry Zonka. Like, it's a whole different era. And one of their defensive backs didn't even want no piece of him on the goal line. Guy ran for 3 touchdowns. Like, where's your defense is looking like they didn't want the smoke. That, to me, says a lot. Because the one thing about Philly, spitting in people's faces and all that, the one thing about Philly, we're not going to get punked. You got punked on national TV.
By 1-14.
By 1-14.
I'm sorry, undefeated. I mean, has not won a game yet, team.
Right. Well, they won one before that. That was their second win. They beat a few weeks ago Jackson Dart threw for like 95 yards and they won. Okay. But a team that 2 rookies, you let a rookie come in there and stomp you. And now this boy gonna be doing all type of. He gonna be the poster. Him and Jackson Dart gonna be the poster boys of New York entertainment. They're already everywhere.
I know Thursday night New York was on fire after that game.
Yeah, boy ripping his shirt off and talking about taking candy out his nuts. I mean, I don't know if you heard the Ryan Clark story.
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, like all of a sudden, Scatterboo is like a national hero or something.
But that's how he played at Arizona State.
Yeah.
But I think something is wrong with him.
He's walking CTE for real. I mean, he
No,
might.
because if you see him every now and then, he does this. He does that all the time.
You see how he play?
Yeah,
See, you know he got head problems.
Yeah,
he already probably got a little stuff going on, man.
One of them wires him for that elevator must not go on because I
Right.
mean, great player. I wanted him on the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I wanted it, but yeah, that's probably my game of the week. Last Thursday night was my game of the week.
Okay. All right. Well, shit, I don't know. I wish I could watch it, but I'm out not in that area. But I would I would like to see how Baltimore look, man, because we talk about the bottom falling out. It could be for them too.
Hey, bro, I don't even know if you want to watch that.
Yeah, but it's what with watching the pregame, the weather is a Derrick Henry kind of game. It's raining, and you would think he would have some kind of impact.
Yeah,
you would think that defense can maybe harass Stafford a little bit. Because I'm like, bro, I don't see how did Houston put up 40?
Let me ask you this. You said because of the weather, and I get it. Yeah. But how long Lamar Jackson been hurt? How long he been out the lineup?
I think this is second game.
Okay.
Because he got hurt during Kansas City.
Okay. So what happened last week?
What? That was
that should have been Derrick Henry weather right there, regardless Sunday or not.
That was a Houston game, right?
Yeah. No more than 50 yards. And 2 or 3 straight games.
I think he's another guy that it's all between his ears right now. I mean, I think something's going on mentally with him.
For him,
after them fumbles, I think he's done. Mentally.
Yeah. Which is embarrassing for an NFL stud like him. You had a rough stretch. Shake it off. That's another thing. When you was going back and forth, I was telling Swab, today's NFL just seems like bad football. Like when we look at a guy like Dylan Gabriel last week, and he was checked down Charlie, and everybody say, "Oh, he played a great game." If that's what great quarterback play looks like now, then I'm lost. Because again, all these guys, Justin Fields, all these quarterbacks, they play horrible football. These guys are getting millions of dollars to play. This is all they do. They work and break down film, and I just think it's bad football in the NFL. I don't know if because they don't practice. Maybe it's that they don't practice enough, man. The product is not what it once was. And I understand his head is contact and so much money involved. I get all that, but listen, physicality's never leaving football. I don't care what you do, helmets, the kicking thing. Can't tackle this guy this way. It's never leaving. It is a brutal sport. It's going to stay that way. But you got to practice because these guys don't practice.
True.
I get it.
True.
And actually, if you think about it, a lot of these injuries we're seeing are like non-contact injuries. Why is that? Because you're not working those muscles out enough. You're going to practice in shorts and shoulder pads, and you walk and do drills. You don't have any contact. You're not building any callus. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's just like, why these guys are great physical specimens, but they're getting hurt more. So, in training camp, what do they start practicing with pads? 2 weeks after camp starts? Something like that. After the 10th practice, I think they go in the pad.
And they only practice. How many private practices are they allowed to have during training camp?
That I'm not sure of. I know it's a pitch count. Okay. And it's only a certain amount of time. There's no more 2-a-days like in week. Right. No more of that. And then they play 2 preseason games. And when they do these inter-squad scrimmages, there's no, it's played to the whistle. It's more thud than actual contact. They do drills. That's why, like, the first few weeks of most of these NFL seasons, it's bad to watch, or there's blocked punts, and because it's like, it's not enough practice hours. And again, I understand, but it is what it is. It's like, when it comes to football, like in basketball, you maybe, can go watch Israeli if you're a basketball junkie, or in baseball, you can go, you can't, this sport here, it's you can't mimic it. If you're not practicing it at full speed, you can go play at the Drew League in the summer and you're a basketball player. You can go to Rucker Park. You can't do that in football.
True.
I get it.
You go play in the Dominican League in baseball in the winter. Can't do that in football. And again, if just being in shape is not enough, because we seeing specimens go down. Guys are like, wow, this guy looked like he blocked the sun out, and then he getting hurt. And it's like, how is he getting hurt?
Picking up a napkin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he ran too fast, and his Achilles blew out. What?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. He's right. Yeah,
it's crazy. Well, good people, we appreciate you for tuning in to another NYO Weekly. Hope your team win this week.
Mine didn't. I hope yours do.
Hey. Better luck next week.
Mine's is like, you go to the club.
All right.
And she telling you all the things you want to hear. You already brought the porterhouse and the Don Julio.
I apologize for making you feel away. But we're going to end this live. See y'all next week.
Peace.